This is the K-pop cast, and last night we saw the boys of Bangtan, the members of BTS in full, all reunited as a group
in the flesh
at Stanford for day one of the Stanford showcase. And today we're here to just kind of like recap what we thought of the show.
You're getting the fresh, hot off the press take from the K-pop cast.
That's right. So, quick framing. This was BTS's first Bay Area show since Oakland Arena in September of 2018.
I was there in 2018.
And I was there as well, although I was off into the booth on the side. I think the acoustics were worth in the what do you call it? The boxes. Anyway, so the acoustics weren't as great in Oakland Arena in 2018. Yeah, it was really nice to see them again 8 years later, and I think a lot has changed since that
8 years.
point. Yeah.
Whew. A lot has changed, and I think that's a theme that we're going to be talking about. You know, the good, the bad, the neutral. What has changed? What is new about this generation of BTS and this generation of ARMY? So I think we're going to do this recap kind of in chronological order, just take it from the beginning because as Peter, you and I were talking about, this is not just about attending the concert. For many ARMY, this is making a whole day out of it, whole weekend. It is the anticipation. It is coming up with your outfit. It is people flying in. So I just want to build that, that buzz, that momentum, because this is not just any concert.
Yeah. So it's also a concert which is good for the local economy. As SFO, our local airport, will tell you, they set up a big sign welcoming in all the ARMYs to come. And it says hey, BTS ARMY, we purple you, is what the sign says at SFO.
Great.
And then they also made the lights at SFO all Borahae purple. As well. And then we had local politicians weighing in. So Gavin Newsom and Matt Mahon both put on social feeds welcome to California, BTS. And of course, you would sell out your California shows because we're California and we're great. And stuff like that. I think what was also funny was that I was eating in, Palo Alto area. And, Joyce, my wife, and I, we were walking around and we could just see ARMYs taking over, the local area, eating at all the restaurants. And it took over. And we spent a lot of money. So we spent more on food than we did on concert tickets. So hey,
wow.
it's
Date
we're
night.
good for the economy. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. A lot of folks shelled out about $80 or $90 for parking passes at Stanford Stadium. This is a pricey trip to make, but for ARMY, we spare no expense, right?
Yes. And so there were also a few unique things about the venue and location as well. So Stanford, this was their second act ever to play in their stadium. Coldplay played there last spring, where it had about 87,000 attendees over the course of 2 nights. BTS is drawing about 53,000 per night for a total of 159,000 over the course of 3 nights. So it's double the size of Coldplay's concert. So Stanford's live director, Iris Namani, told Palo Alto Online that, quote, almost 100 trucks from BTS versus Coldplay's 40. So it's a bigger stage, a bigger show. And that was something that our friend Todd for the SF Cron also flagged. So the show started earlier because of the location. So it started at 7 p.m., a full hour earlier than other shows. And that was due to Stanford's strict 10 p.m. outdoor curfew. And we
classic.
even had RM acknowledge that in the course of the concert. Say, guys, it's very unusual. It's too early and it's too bright, so it might be a little embarrassing when we're on stage. We need your energy.
It kind of feels like sound check or rehearsal if they're out there on stage when the sun is up. So he said, it's a little awkward.
Yeah. But I think that was also a central topic of discussion, just tracking what people are posting online immediately after the concert. So with that, let's go into like maybe the first, just pre-show reflections as like you and I were like walking in. What I think the first thing you and I noticed were demographics. What was your take, Stephanie?
Yeah, so I always love to be around ARMY, around K-pop fans. I think for many of us, we don't get to spend most of our time around other K-pop fans. So it's always a treat to just feel that warmth, that joy. Everybody's talking about who their bias is and how many shows are you going to. And I had an eye on the demographics, because I think, Peter, you and I have been in the game, the K-pop game for, is it a few decades now? Over 20 years.
Like our K-pop like history and career is like graduated college.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. And so I have witnessed, me going into a concert, an arena, and being not only the only non-Asian person, but the only like non-Korean person in a concert. Like I started there, proud to have started there. And then, coming up in LA and in the Bay Area, there being a really strong presence of Black K-pop fans, like coming up around the 2008 to 2012, 2013, and then onward, 2016, pretty strong contingent of Black ARMY, Black K-pop fans holding it down, coming out and supporting. And, post-pandemic, through the pandemic and post, as I've gone to more shows, I've seen a steady decrease in the percentage of Black fans. And that gives me some pause. It gives me something to think about or to grieve, as I have to kind of connect the dots to, K-pop has not been kind over the years to Black fans, Black ARMY. We are not appreciated really to the level that we deserve. And I think I've seen a lot of fans online just expressing that I'm done with K-pop. I'm done with BTS. The racism, the anti-Blackness that just keeps coming up in K-pop after all these years. So I'm just like holding that tenderly as like one of the few remaining Black fans, it seems like. But I just feel like that should be discussed.
Yeah.
Because it's our culture. It's our music.
Oh, totally. Well,
absolutely.
It goes back to what we've been talking about this album. Remember in the pre-album promotions talking about Howard University.
Exactly.
And it's like, you're going to like extract and exploit this like
a historically Black college.
Anyway, but you're gonna take this moment in time, ground it in like Black history, and
like you really didn't have to.
Korean.
You could have just left it alone.
And then, but I think it also like I hate to say it, like I love standing by and participating with all the other armies at the concert, but also I think it tells you that this wasn't enough of a sin, for all the other armies who were like there in the audience with us. So.
Yeah, that's true. There's not like a protest.
I think the other thing, as far as demographics goes, that stood out to me was that there were more younger people as well. And by younger, we mean under the age of 30.
Right. Our positionality matters.
Yeah. So there was that. And then there was also a lot of parents and their kids.
Yeah.
And for that moment where they were showing fans on the Jumbotron, you could tell that they were selecting children especially. Like that was the primary who people they're looking to showcase.
Next generation ARMY coming up.
So yeah, I mean, like maybe that shift may change, and I think it goes to showing that actually BTS is still relevant with younger crowds, because we've been saying that for a while. It seemed like BTS is like Gen 3 era fandom, and as
getting
Gen 3
older.
era fandom gets older, are they able to attract the newer fans? And it seems like based off of what we saw last night, they are.
Yes, I observed anecdotally a good number of folks who seem to be in their 20s or college or just out of college. maybe not that many like teens or middle school. I didn't see many of that age group, but I was encouraged to see like the younger folks. I think to your point, post pandemic, I think we weren't really sure. First of all, does Army still got it like that? Like the numbers? Are we still a powerful force post pandemic? Like we haven't really gotten a chance to prove that, to show out in that way. And so that was confirmed. Like, yeah, we could sell out Stanford Stadium. Thank you very much. And it's nice to see that there's folks from all ages into BTS still. Yeah. One more point on the age thing. So yes, there were some kids at the show. But Mom and I decided before the show to go to a Bangtan Sunnyvale vendor market that had like 70 vendors selling K-pop, fan-made K-pop merch. There was a random play dance, and
yeah, shout out to Shannon from One Star for hosting that.
Hey, so, One Star, what's up? Yes, and I was kind of surprised to find very little K-pop Demon Hunters merch or imagery. Yeah. There was like one booth, it seemed, selling Demon Hunters stuff. But I was like, ooh, okay, there's a line here between Bangtan people, K-pop people, and Demon Hunters people. Like I knew that. But just to see it, like, ooh, okay, it's a big difference. Just because you're into Demon Hunters does not mean you're coming out to K-pop events in general.
Yeah, I think like maybe where that like Venn diagram might overlap are in all like the unhinged, not unhinged, all the Gen Alpha kids who are at the concert tonight. Yeah, and who are probably also,
if you're a child of a K-pop fan, maybe you get both.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's probably what's happening, as with probably my kids here.
Your kids who are in the back right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So the music that they're playing as we're walking in and as we're getting settled into our seats, I am hearing traditional Korean music. I'm hearing kayakum. I'm hearing kukak. I'm hearing like pretty calm, subdued, like without much explanation, and that gives me pause as well. Like, wow,
it was good scene setting, like ambient, vibe setting. By the way, like I think you and I, we've been saying this, as well as Todd, like we've been saying this for like years now, that you shouldn't just play your band's discography on music videos, like as you're walking into a concert, that you're going to hear them perform minutes later. I don't know. It just feels like you're kind of like burning it. So like it's good to have like a different ambiance shift as you're entering the stage. And by the way, that is the whole point of like a warm-up act, which K-pop really needs to adopt, and they really need to throw their trainees into doing just those like warm-up things, because that's what warm-up act is supposed to do. But anyway. Like I'm like with you, Stephanie. Like it was great that we were leaning into and I am not equipped to say this, but like I'm gonna be clumsy here and say like it seemed like they were leaning into the Korean authenticity. Yeah. And it seemed like we saw more thought and effort going into this concert for that Korean authenticity than the album itself. Because I think they had more time for this concert than they did for the album. Like, I don't know.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. I think it can be argued that Arirang album as a whole like explores different themes of longing and separation, like which is the meaning under the folk tune Arirang. But I think you're absolutely right that they had a little more time to put intention into what is that connection between like the modern music that we want to put out and traditional Korean culture, instrumentation. They had more of a chance to showcase that in the live format than they were putting this album together. They had like 2 months in the studio together.
Yeah, something crazy.
It was a bit of a rush.
What was very different from 2018, if you'll recall, when we saw it at the Oracle Arena, it was kind of like more of like a One Direction stage. Like, it's
front
like
facing.
Audience is looking straight and band is looking kind of back at us for the most part.
Yeah.
this one, like they knew that they were going to be at multiple stadium venues, and to sell more seats, they set it up in like a 360 sort of way of producing the choreography and how the boys are shown. So I think the big central platform, double entendre, like pun intended, was the Lazy Susan stage.
The Chinese banquet table spinning.
Yes, which constantly spun, right, throughout the event. And then also had, the members going like up and down in different like sub-platforms of that Lazy Susan. But I thought that was a really nice touch. And I think it showed that it was more over, I think both like interaction with, of course, the idols to the audience, but also the idols with each other.
Yes.
And that was another just very big difference from 2018. 2018, these boys are Olympic like dancers doing like the peak of like what is the human can accomplish when it comes to singing and dancing at the same time. This time around, they're a little bit older, and I think that this sequence, instead of choreography, is setting them up for a more sustainable pathway as they grow and evolve that maybe isn't as intense on their bodies. But I think it was just nice. Like you could see what they showed the cameras on the stage would, have zoom ins of each of the individual members. But what I also appreciated, and I liked having binoculars for this, was like I would look at them and I could just see them like interacting with each other. On that Lazy Susan stage. So it was just another way to just like kind of bring a different type of performance as they get older.
Exactly. And just to put some specifics on that, out of how many songs? 22 songs? They did full choreography for 4 songs. And so I just want to like drop that there. They did choreo for 2.0, Swim, Dynamite, and Mic Drop. Even though they sang songs with really impressive choreography, including, Fake Love, Not Today, Fire, I think a lot of us in the audience would have liked to see the original choreo, especially for those high energy, older songs, the choreo that we as fans have been learning and practicing at home. But it was noticeably different, that like, the dancing is not the main point of this show this time, as it was in 2018. The main point of the show seemed to be like, hey, we are here in person. We are interacting with you. We're running out on the catwalk and getting as close to you as possible. And we're smiling and we're singing to you. Yeah. And I have mixed feelings about that. I think you're right to say like, hey, they're a little older. They're entering their 30s. And I'm like, dang, I'm 30. I think we said at the end, like, I still feel like I have some energy after the show. I wanted to feel exhausted as a fan from dancing and singing, but I felt like, I could have done more. Right. Maybe they could have done more. And yes, getting older. Yes, maybe they're not in the condition that they were like constantly dancing and practicing and training back in 2018. Maybe they have a different lifestyle now.
Yeah, but okay. One, we were the beneficiaries of that like almost inhuman physicality.
No shade to the humans behind BTS. Like, so much respect. They're incredible.
Right. But we've also seen, like, if you look at like the documentaries and behind the scenes shows of a lot of these concerts, you could see them like breaking themselves. Like they were breaking their
injuries.
Bodies. Yeah. And you don't want them to be like the entire show taken out of commission because like someone hurt their foot or something.
Well, RM hurt his ankle right away. Yeah.
Right. So you still want the show to stand on its own if you have these injuries, especially, this like very long tour, like multiple locations,
81
lots of travel.
shows. 81
Okay.
shows across 34 cities. 11-month tour.
Well, it's not the album that makes the money, Stephanie. It's the
the
tours.
tour.
So
Yeah.
that's what Hype is trying to get the
Banking
return on their
on
investment right now.
Getting these artists to make it through the tour.
So let's move on to Hooligan, which was the first song that they played. So we had the smoke bombs and the dancers come out. When I saw the dancers come out in their ninja costumes, I was immediately reminded of Today.
Not today.
Right. But it was different. So Hooligan is a popular song, I think, with the Army fandom from this last album. It was a good start. And when I saw them come out onto that stage, to me, it almost felt surreal. Like, even though I had seen J-Hope at Oracle Arena less than a year prior to this conference, the show, I mean, it was still surreal, like seeing all of them on the same stage
all
together.
Of them.
And like, also like, maybe it's like this analog in real life experience, but like seeing them with my own eyes in front of me,
not on a screen.
Oh wow, they're there, they're real.
they're real people.
So it was just, to me, it was like I was like blown away by the rock star status to seeing them come on stage.
Oh my gosh. And I must say, who was just embodying the rock star vibe the most? You and I both know Jimin.
Well, actually,
hello.
Oh my God. I was talking to Joyce, my wife, on the drive back, and we were saying like, oh, of the members who like have the most like stardom appeal right now, like based off of that performance, certainly J-Hope, probably Jungkook, and then I would say Jimin's main.
Mm-hmm.
Not Jimin.
His hair.
His hair was doing like the heavy lifting.
His whole look.
Yeah.
He was the one that you could pick out right away, even if you're like in the boonies up in the stands, you could see, that's Jimin.
His costuming was brought like a similar like rock star, like almost like 1980s, like
the 80s long blonde hair.
Yeah, but also his outfitting to go along with it, like it was the costuming match. I felt
tank top, boots, jeans. Yeah, it seemed like he came from the past.
Right.
Yeah.
Still a star.
Oh yeah.
Run BTS on the Lazy Susan stage. Like, I don't know what is.
There's
this, like, you know what I'm talking about? The sculpture, Stephanie.
Yes.
Like, and I've seen it in like 2 locations. One is on the UNC campus, of like basically like all these, I don't know, for like a better term, like all the slaves that are like holding up like the world. And it's basically a way to like kind of acknowledge like, the South kind of benefited from slavery. And I think there was another exhibit in, I think it was Georgia. Where was it? But like there was this other museum of adversity that uses a very similar sculpture. But that's what I was reminded of, seeing all the dancers kind of like holding up the Lazy Susan going around. I don't know if that was an intended metaphor. It came out in Run BTS. Like Animals, I thought was a very good
like live ballad vocal
it's
demonstration.
the song that's staying in my head well after the concert. So I'm just surprised that it stays in my head the most.
And it's stronger live than the studio recording for me. And
Jimin's hair, his mane,
that helps,
was on brand for that song as well. Fake Love, that was the first. So we were going through all the songs off the Arirang album up to Fake Love, and Fake Love was the first like quote unquote like throwback. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but like one of their older songs.
Pre-pandemic,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess it's been a while. And that's where I noticed the shift in the energy from the crowd. People shouting, singing along a lot more, doing the fan chants.
We've been waiting for this.
Right. And then Swim, they created that pool.
Yeah.
with the lazy Susan kind of sorted in the sheets. I don't know what was.
The dancers are like holding these white bed sheets basically, and they're using it to create the image of waves and water, and I thought that was cute.
Yeah,
it didn't blow me away.
Yeah, me either. It was cute that they were going around on the lazy Susan like a merry-go-round for the song merry-go-round. And it felt very bridal themed.
I used the merry-go-round opportunity to go to the restroom. Thank you to all the armies on Reddit and social media who gave me that tip. Oh, they're like, if you want a section of the concert where not much is going on and you can dip out, do it around merry-go-round. So thanks for the tip, Army.
And then I think we had the intermission.
Yeah, that kind of brings us to the intermission where, Peter and I were both looking at each other like, are we supposed to be feeling something with the imagery, the music, symbolism was being used? But it just wasn't clear to us and wasn't like hitting us in the feels in the way that it could have.
This is again where you have your K-pop trainees take the stage while the band does a costume change. Or you mix it up in programming.
Or have a real live band on the stage with you to do their solos.
That would be cool. Or you could, it's more taxing on the members, but you could have like one member say on stage, they do their solo song, and then the other members go off and change, and then you kind of like cycle through that.
Yeah, they did that 2018, I think.
They did, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it just felt a little dead. And then there was, the Korean colors, and then the elements of nature, I presume.
I think so. They were showing like each member on screen, and the member is then surrounded by color and an element of nature like that they represent. And so the funniest on the nose one was seeing Jungkook's abs on the Megatron surrounded by fire. It's like, yes, he is.
That's the only thing we remember.
Fire abs, Fire Nation.
Oh, and they also had the fire on the stage, the fire cannons.
Yes. Pyrotechnics.
Yes. All right. So then after the intermission, we had 2.0.
Hey.
And it felt a little slow as a re-entry point.
Yeah, they kind of eased us back in.
At one point, I think it was after normal, Jungkook said like, "Hey, I see a lot of phones. Could put that stuff away." And in the moment, I thought like, "Hey, good on you for calling that out, Jungkook." And then I realized after the concert, Samsung had this deal with this concert where they had a marketing campaign to put the phones away because the concerts were being captured on Samsung Galaxy. So it was like, I want to say this was probably them trying to, that was part of the script to promote the Samsung campaign.
There was an ad played before the concert.
Right.
From Samsung. Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
And then he called me out, and then you pointed to me as I had my phone out. One of the few times I had my phone out recording, you were like, "Stephanie, shame on you. Jungkook calling you." I felt bad.
But it didn't seem like people were putting their phones away. Like, no. I don't know.
No, of course not.
What I didn't understand, like there were like K-pop dads in front of me or in front of us.
Yeah. And
they were just like holding and recording the entire time, and I'm like,
all right.
What are you doing? It's not like, from our vantage point, like you're gonna capture like high fidelity.
We were really in the back.
It's like,
everybody thinks that their strategy for recording on their phone is the best, but mine really is the best. I bring it out for just my favorite songs, just for like the first chorus. Like the parts that I want to rewatch again and again and what I want to put in my Instagram story, and then I put it away for the rest of the song. I just get a snippet, a snackable.
See, it feels like people taking like videos of fireworks, It's like, what are you going to do with that later? Really?
Delete it?
Yeah.
It's going to take up your storage space.
Right.
Yeah. So after intermission, though, energy kind of picked up.
Well, it picked up with Not Today.
Woo! Marching band remix.
I don't know.
No. I know. I wanted the original.
Like, yeah. I mean, it was...
I wanted them to do the choreo.
Yeah. Especially when you have all the ninja costumes from Not Today. For all your dancers, just like in Not Today.
They're ready. That's true. That's true. They're all dressed in their like all black hooded ninja outfits with the smoke bombs. Bring them back out.
Right.
Would love to see Not Today live with like all of those dancers in the stadium.
Well, I felt silly because like I was getting ready for the first drop, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, today we fight. And then I'm like jumping, and then it goes into the slow song. I'm like, okay, well, never mind. I'm not jumping anymore.
Oh. Yeah. Once again, mixed feelings on this, because a problem with many K-pop shows is that they do zero remixing.
Right.
You just get the studio album, the radio edit, and they're done, and there's nothing new. So I appreciate that they tried to do something different.
Yes.
And I'm weighing that both and against like, oh, I wanted the original. So this is where you do the original for the first half, and then you remix.
Or
right?
vice versa, maybe.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Do the remix and then hit us with the original, the beat.
Yeah. But then, mic drop.
No remix. Just the original.
And you could tell like the crowd, at least us North American fans, we really like that song.
Oh, yeah. Crowd favorite. Yeah, I see you wrote here the Miyane Oma, the sing-along.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it was probably loudest for you because I was shouting that right into your ear, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, it was that, and then like there was
I was
also,
doing
like,
the
fan
choreo.
chants, like,
That's
as-
one of the few songs that they danced to. So I was doing the dance with them, singing along. Like, yes, this is what I came here for.
Yeah, and it was nice that they alternated it. So they did one chorus facing one direction, and then another chorus facing our direction. So I thought that was good. That was definitely the right way to do it. And they sequenced it in such that, like, when the band was facing one direction, as a part of the transition, one member would turn around and start facing the opposite direction. And then, like, after that, then the band, fully moved over. But it was just like a nice, pivot and sequence. But going back to like the fan chants, like it was like right from the first beat, like, everyone knows the song from the first beat. And then like you had people doing the fan chants as they're walking right before the first verse. So that like, it's that sort of experience I was expecting, honestly, a bit more of across the entire concert.
The
given
fan
that
chants.
it's like, well, yes, but also given that it's an audience of armies. Right?
Yeah.
So you'd expect the fan chants to be more on point for this concert. And I don't know if we just didn't hear it from where we were in the stands.
Yeah, maybe on the floor they were holding it down. I don't know.
But it just felt like, oh man, all these songs have fan chants. And like, this was the only time I heard it was like for mic drop for the first verse.
That's true.
And then they went into the other banger clanger.
Woo, banger
songs.
clinger.
So fire. And people, you could tell, we're looking across the entire stadium, and you can see that people are like noticeably jumping up and down a lot more for that song. And it's really cool seeing all the light sticks turn to red. As well. And I like seeing the fire pyrotechnics.
Of course.
And then they took us into, we should have saw this coming.
Yeah.
Fire. Not to be confused with fire.
Fire.
But fire, their other Bing and Klinger song right after that. And that went over well. I didn't
It's
see
a
like
no-brainer to mix those two.
But when I noticed that they did fire, it didn't have as much hype energy from the crowd as fire. And I think like maybe there's just newer Army fans in the audience or something. I don't know.
Maybe. You kind of had to be around back in the day. for when Fire came out to really be excited about it.
It wasn't even that long ago because we were doing this podcast when that song came out.
Really? Was
yes,
it?
So
when was that? 2016?
Yeah.
Okay. 10 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, 10 years is, I guess, a long time for a lot of people.
It's kind of long. And they didn't play the original beat or do the choreo for Fire for this. So my excitement was muted. Just for my own self.
And then for the third chorus of Fire, they did a mashup with Fire. And that was nice. I thought that was cute. I think that was a good way to like bring it home. And then for that third party chorus, everyone erupted in a true party fashion.
Hey.
So, and then Body to Body. This was like the centerpiece song of the album, the concert.
I enjoyed it, but I expected more.
Well, and where? How?
I expected them to do something more musically and like an extended version, a bigger like musical production of it, actual like Korean instruments being played live, something like that's more than what they had on the album.
Yeah.
Because like you said, that's the centerpiece. The whole album revolves around this song. Give us a story. Give us some tension. Give us a surprise.
Like, remember back in the day when, like, Gen 2, like, they'd be like, oh, this is the single that's popular for Music Bank and all these, like, TV shows. Would be like, okay, let's draw this song out. Let's reinterpret it. Yeah. Let's have the members wear different costumes for the same song that they've been singing nonstop for weeks. It seems like an opportunity to do that for this. And I'm completely with you, Stephanie. Like, of all songs on the album, this is the one that's best suited for stretching it out. Like, to, like, reinterpret the length and the different sub-themes within the song itself. This is the song to do that for.
Give us some vocal ad-libs. Have some of the members singing Arirang. We're all singing together for multiple verses, multiple rounds of that song. I think we were hungry for that.
Right. So there was, as we said many times before about this song, and again, we love this song. It had a lot of Korean imagery on the screens, and the dancers were out with BTS flags. But I could have, I think what they were really getting at, like, they didn't have the Korean flags on there, but you could have, like, easily imagined, like, okay, this is substitute for, like, the Korean, hand-in-hand national anthem. And
and what's that about? Why can't we have the Korean flag?
Yeah, why not? But I think it's also, like, a way to, like, subvert, like, nationalism for capitalism.
Dang.
by like, worship the brand of BTS.
You're probably right.
Nationalistic pride around that. But anyway, like, I thought it was
decision.
Still a very good song. And for that bridge in the song, for the actual Arirang, I felt disappointed for BTS because the fans weren't singing along. They weren't singing the Arirang along. And
come on, people, let's show them that we value this and that we studied. Y'all didn't do your homework.
And then I felt like you could see that kind of like that drop in their faces.
Oh, sure.
Because they're like, they knew that everyone knew this song. And so then they're like, okay, you ready? Like, sing it. And then they like point their mics at the audience. And it's just like silence.
I wish they could hear me. I was belting it.
But like, the Stanford stage just like, I don't know, noticeably quiet in that bridge. But I really like seeing, what is it? Like the drumming and the ribbons and the dance. That just felt very like capital K Korean.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of like the scale and the majesty of, what was it? When they performed Idol at like MMA 20 something, then they brought out all of these Korean traditional dancers and drummers, the lion dancers, the costumes. Like I'm remembering that performance and comparing it to this one. Like this one's a little more subdued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But building off of that theme of Korean like pride and nationalism, we had Idol as the next song, and that felt right. And then also like visually on the screen, they were showing like thing.
the build. Oh, like showing a palace.
Yeah, like is that
on the main screen?
I don't know if it has a special name, but like anyway, they kept flashing that along with the song Idol as it was shown in the background of the music video. Yeah, but like I felt that was going right along with the Korean pride, and on one hand, like that was the right song to play right after Body to Body, and I like that they kind of like walked around the stage with the flags.
That felt very Olympics.
Yeah,
like
very
going
Olympics.
Back to the hand in hand.
Right. And also like just nationalism. And then on the other hand, it's like you've got this hype song, and you're just kind of like
looping.
walking around, and like it. I don't know. It didn't feel like the song to have people parade around when you're at a concert for that Idol.
I agree. I wanted to see more dancing. I'm a broken record on that. The Idol choreo is so cool. It's so great for main stage production and swelling of the energy there. So to have them walk around, there's only so long that energy can sustain itself as they're making a lap around the whole stadium. You could just feel it dissipating. And it's like, this could have been fuel for something else.
Like, yeah, like it needed a central focal point on the main stage, on the Lazy Susan. But like having them walk around, it felt like you were looking at sections of the stadium, just try to get their selfie internet vanity points. I'll be like, oh, look how close it was to this idol, and capture this moment. And that's not really what I want in a performance.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe that's something to do at the encore, like after you've done everything and left it all on the floor, on the stage. Like you come around and greet us all and parade. Yeah. But at this point in the show, it's supposed to be the energetic peak.
Right.
It was kind of leaky energy-wise.
Yeah. So moving on, we're closely approaching the final segment here. So they had Come Over, and then they played Come Over. Felt like no one knew that song.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, and then they played Butter, which, you and I think we both die on the inside a bit, but at the same time, like you could tell that the audience liked it. Like as soon as that song came on, and even when like who was I think Aram, like when he was like introducing that song, he's like, okay, y'all know this song,
y'all know this, you gotta sing along.
And so it seemed like a younger BTS Army crowd, because this is a song that was their hype song
when they were just coming up. Butter and Dynamite came out, maybe.
Yeah. But I think that
it was cool to see them doing choreo, having fun with like the Michael Jackson inspired choreography. That was fun.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny just seeing like V like lying there on the floor, like he didn't get up.
Yeah, V. I know. I was pointing to him. I was like, "That's me. That's how I feel about this song." Just like, let me lie down and nap through it.
Visually, it was like the branding for that song, like, for my misgivings about the song itself, like the branding for the concept is very good for Butter. And seeing that yellow shown in all the army bombs around the stage, it was like, okay, this is on brand for this song. It has a very definitive theme. Exactly. And then the other thing that, of course, they would pair it with Butter, but predictably the next song was Dynamite. And again, everyone around us loved that song. You and me, we were just like rolled our eyes.
When is it over? But again, there was some cool dancing that they did. Jungkook, Jimin, V did some pop and lock, like dance battling with each other. That was cute. It was cute to see those maybe off script moments of interaction between them. And I'm glad that these songs gave them the opportunity to be a little less serious.
Right. Yeah, like I definitely with these two songs in particular, they were like, yeah, we're not necessarily going to do the choreography. We're just going to spend time with each other. And like those are things that I think translate well as I get older and get even more sick of these songs. So then there were apparently after that, maybe these were the encore songs at other stages, but these were like the two like randomized, like, you know, at the Twice concert, they would like spin the wheel and then they would, you know, play whatever it landed on. So the surprise songs for our leg of the tour for day one at Stanford was N.O., which does not have a period after O, by the way. I don't know. That was the thing in like so many
That's
like
a K-pop
songs at that time. Like what is it, like 2014 through like 20 it was like 2012 to like 2016.
And
there were so many songs with like
group names.
letters and group names, and each letter would have a period after them except for the last
but
one.
not the last one.
Anyway, but like no, it was really fun to see them all perform, and then you can see them be like, oh, do you remember the choreography for this one? And like you can see them like challenging each other to do like the choreography. I thought it was really funny when who was RM and who was the other person, like they were putting their hands out for the jump.
So that Jimin could flip like he did in the video,
and then Jimin was like across the stage, and then even though like he didn't get on their hands, he did the jump from across the stage.
He did his own jump.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was fun. I love seeing that.
Right,
that was 2013 pre-debut era when that song came out. Still a banger.
Yeah,
but you know what we were excited for was that second one. I was so glad because like my mom was there at the concert with me, and this is like her favorite BTS song of all time. I was like, what are the odds out of all the tracks that they're gonna play this one? And they did. They played Anpanman,
which is definitely one of their best songs.
Yes.
And you could tell like the moment that beat came on, you could hear the screams from the audience. Like you knew that Bay Area fans were particularly excited about that song. So
it has like a West Coast feel to it.
It does.
Yeah.
They had Please.
Yeah, they had Please and Into the Sun to round out the night. I think they were seated for both of these.
Right. This is where like you sent me that meme, Stephanie, of like they sat on the Lazy Susan and went around, and it's like, oh, I'm looking at, you know,
my annual salary
that
I just spent on these tickets is going around like dumplings in the microwave. I'm watching them just sit there. It's fine for them to sit. And that was just such a funny meme as an image.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you think of Into the Sun live? I know that this one was kind of contentious when the album came out. Folks are like, oh, the vocals, the auto-tune. I don't know how I feel about this. Distorted. But I enjoyed the vocals more this time.
Oh, really?
Oh, not you.
I feel the same.
The same?
About the song. I mean, the final chorus is a good closer, but I was expecting them to walk off stage. People ask for an encore and then they come back. That's what I was expecting.
Right. There was unless we missed something about the format of the show, there was no encore.
I've got two theories.
Okay.
Like one, what do you remember what time it was when it ended?
9:24, something like that.
Okay. They could have done something. They that's within like, you know, to 9:20 to 10 o'clock hard stop.
Well, the curfew is 10 o'clock. So maybe they were trying to be extra safe to end before that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So there is that. So the curfew.
What else?
And that's why they started early. The other thing is just that like the fans sucked.
Ooh, dang. You gonna say that?
they were just not singing,
The fans
dancing
just
along.
up and left.
Immediately after that last song, they're like, okay, I'm gonna go home now. It's like, do you
No,
not
stay.
know like concert etiquette?
Cheer.
Yeah, like you're supposed to be cheering and be like encore, like shouting
Yeah,
like
BTS, like all their names, like
right. That's what you're supposed to do, and then you keep doing that, and then that encourages the band to come back. That's the whole
they come
point
out and do a
of an
little
encore.
something.
Right. And it's more like they're not even familiar with that concept.
Yeah,
of
I'm
an
like, who are
encore.
these people? Have you not been to the concert?
Like just any.
Did you not
concerts,
watch
period.
the videos of the other cities where they got encores?
Yeah, but also like so like not getting encores for BTS the tour, but also just like concerts in general. I feel like they were just not that experienced crowd.
Maybe
it felt like, and because like half the stadium left within 5 minutes. It's like, well, we're not gonna do an encore for that. So like,
right.
why
We're not
Like,
gonna perform for a third of the stadium. Let's just go to bed.
So I was disappointed, and like in that sounds like it felt light.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really felt like I was like 2 to 3 songs short of a full concert.
Yeah, I felt that. I agree. I was like, oh, okay, they wrapped this up, put a bow on it. It doesn't feel like we all as a group, audience and BTS, like left everything on the floor. It's like, no, okay. I feel satisfied. Teased.
Not
left
even
wanting
satisfied.
More.
Yeah, just
not
just
right.
short of satisfied.
True. I'm not stuffed.
Right. So anyway, speaking of the audience, was it the sun?
Was it
Not
the
going
sun?
into the sun, but rather because they started with the sun. And I don't know. What do you think, Stephanie?
I don't think so. I think, the sun doesn't prevent us from getting down, from being excited.
Okay.
It's fine. There are plenty of shows take place in the daylight.
I don't know. From where we were sitting, it felt not crazy.
Yeah.
Like I would just expect more army energy from like an army crowd who doled out money and how to fight each other to get a ticket. You'd expect more diehard fans to
remember the bloodbath to get tickets.
Right.
We were only there because my mom was in the queue at Ticketmaster, the bloodbath, getting tickets. Shout out to mom. We didn't talk that much about the logistics of getting in and getting out, and
right.
I think we had just heard horror stories from other cities about parking nightmares and transit, but the Bay Area, got it together. It was fairly organized in terms of logistics. Nobody got
one of the
trampled
best.
Or like lines for days. Merch sold out fast, but like you could park and get in the line.
Yeah, and also like merch was like readily available throughout, and there are like multiple locations, and like
you could come the day early and get it.
You could do that, and I know a lot of fans line up because out of necessity, because usually as a symptom of poor logistics and planning from a lot of these K-pop concerts and tours. But I think with this, it was like, yeah, you want merch, you just walk over here and it's like readily available to you. You don't have to wait for like 24 hours ahead of time, even though some fans did do that anyway.
Some did. They were covered on ABC News. Camping out Thursday night. But it wasn't necessary to do that. And so hats off to, I know it was a tall order for a lot of different institutions and agencies, state-wise, the university, transit agencies. I know that it was a tall order to get all that like streamlined, but you did it.
But like this is the new bar for like crowd control and logistics for concerts, because it was just so well done. And I want to give a particular shout out to gostanford.com/BTS. And that like micro page was so well done.
Cute.
Like it's better than like concert tour pages from like other groups and idols. So like it was just it had on that page you could see the full show day timeline of like, you know, where each thing happens. It had multiple downloadable maps. It had public transit agencies schedules and things listed. It also I mean, I discovered this once I got to the venue, but it also had like a free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, free Wi-Fi
thing, and that was an issue because even before I got to step foot onto the Stanford campus in Palo Alto, I noticed that I wasn't getting good reception, or rather, I had the bars for reception, but I think the network was just flooded with all the Army
so many phones.
So yeah, it made up for it. And then like they had people with disability, like special accommodations. They had their special section. A lot of like care and support went into the logistics that so many other shows would have like
you're on your own.
like and it would have been really bad. So
yeah,
I was really, and like also how they along the lines of like the public infrastructure, just like what was it, police or whoever it was, but like just like, you know, people to help direct traffic.
Right. And afterward,
they set up different roads to be like intake and outtake lanes and stuff, and so this was all just, it could have been so bad, but it was a smooth experience all around.
We've all had horrific experiences at various concerts and festivals where it takes you hours to get out, or there's accidents and people honking, but I saw none of that. People were just calmly directed out.
Very smooth and very fast and efficient.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good on you, Bay Area, Stanford. In terms of, I mean, I do want to share about the shout out that Stanford got from the members. That felt really good as a Stanford alum. Seeing all of them mention stuff about Stanford, especially my bias, V, calling out like, is anyone in the audience go to Stanford? And I like leapt out of my seat. I was one of the few people saying like, yes, me. And he said, yes. Yeah. Well, this is a famous school. Can any of you help me get in? I'm like, yes, talk to me. I don't know how I'll do it, but talk to me and I'll make it happen. So I felt like seen, validated. I hope they had a good time on campus. V was talking about the pizza being good, and I'm like, I don't know where you went. I've had all the pizza in the vicinity. It's not good. So
I went to Pizza My Heart, and like, that's really good pizza.
Yeah, really? No, it's not. You lying. And then Suga mentioned that he was hanging out at Stanford Shopping Center, and that he came across a lot of Army, but that Army he complimented us on our manners. He said, y'all are so well behaved that you did not like mob me and yell at me. You just like showed that you were surprised, and then you like walked away. You left me alone. So you respected his privacy. We know that Suga really cares about privacy, and I'm just so glad that Bay Area Army respected that.
I'm surprised that happened, actually. Like,
dang.
Like that
you have
the
no
fans
faith?
are behaved. Yeah, wow. Truly. Like,
wow. But yeah, I think we've always been well behaved. We haven't had much issues. Yeah.
Are you Daebak or not on the concert, Stephanie?
Oh, it is a mild Daebak for me.
Yeah, I'm Daebak as well.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah,
I enjoyed myself. Well organized. It's great to see them in person. Great to see them live. And
what do you think will change tonight and Tuesday? At this point, I think what they should do is just get better fans. We just give more energy.
You know, it's going to be the same people who were there last night.
Yeah, I know.
So many people got tickets to all 3 shows.
But that's what would make it better, honestly. Like, even from the fan experience, it's just having better fans around you.
Dang. Well, yeah, you're not wrong. More energy, more dancing on all fronts. I wish that maybe this is a me problem. Let me know. But I felt my eyes being in the back. I felt my eyes being drawn more to the zoom ins happening on the Jumbotron And I was kind of missing some of the backup dancer formations that were happening on stage. Like the production of what's happening on the Jumbotron, like had all these special effects, and
it's very like individual centric rather than
individual centric. You see their faces like blown up, and my attention was kind of drawn there. And then I was like, oh, I haven't looked at the stage in a while. Oh, wow, there's a lot going on down there. The cameras, the Jumbotron did not show formations. Like, it showed it a little bit, but it didn't show the whole stage as much as it showed individual idols.
Yeah. Well, there were a couple times when they had like drone footage where it got like really macro and they showed you everything. But yeah, I agree with that. Pro tip, like I don't know. Like the first time we saw BTS in 2018, we brought a pair of binoculars and we're like, oh, we should keep doing this.
The OG tip. Mm-hmm.
And I'm surprised not more people do it. But like
I don't even own
really
binoculars.
Nice to see, like even if you're like way up in the stands, if you have a pair of binoculars, you can see them really well.
True.
And you can also kind of see what's around them really well. So it's like I felt like I got more when I was looking at them through the binoculars.
I think you did.
Especially for those moments where they were like the non-focal point where like members are kind of like joshing around with each other.
Uh-huh.
Like I could see that more. Also, like I noticed times where I was like, wow, they're really lazy in this choreography. Like, 'cause, you know, like
you saw everything.
Yeah, well, because like you know they know the main camera's
like,
looking at things from
slacking.
like one point of view,
mm-hmm.
and then you're looking at like members off to the side, and they're just kind of going like,
whatever.
Just not really, you know, giving it
because they know that
effort.
they're not going to be shown on the screen. That's a good point. But so, Peter sees all.
Yeah, but no escape.
No escape.
But,
yeah.
You should just bring more binoculars. But the one time I think the big Jumbotron display worked really nicely. I think it was on, you know, when there were like dumplings on a microwave. And
yes.
I think it was the song Please.
Uh-huh.
And they were all sitting next to each other. And even though it's a circular stage on the Jumbotron, it was shown as if they were all kind of next to each other, like as like almost like a front stage thing. And seeing them all kind of sitting next to each other up on the Jumbotron, looking straight at you, like it was like a very like it truly optimized having that letterbox resolution and format.
I
don't know. There was something just
cool.
Surreal, just kind of seeing them lined up next to each other on the Jumbotron in that way.
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up for our live, hot off the press, next day recap of BTS and their illustrious return to the Bay Area. Saturday, May 16th, 2026. Let us sign off by sharing where folks can find us, the K-Pop Cast, on socials. You can find me, Stephanie, on Instagram at Catchlight27.
DJ Peter Lowe, for me.
All right, and you can hit up all of us on the K-Pop Cast Slack. And if you like what you heard today, you want to chip in for the show's costs, donate to our Ko-fi. Special shout out to Dina, Liz C,
Lady
Chelsea
Sensa.
H, Lady Sensa, holding it down for us. All of the links are in the description.
Yeah.
All right. See you next time, Army.
I'll see you at the San Francisco Zoo.
Yes. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on there?
K-pop takeover.
K-pop takes over the zoo.
Yeah, and I'm on these threads with all these different dance teams, and they're talking with the zoo about doing silly, goofy things like the Bay Area team Eclipse. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna dance in front of the penguins, and we're gonna do."
Okay,
yeah.
Why not?
Yeah,
I'm sure that the zoo needs some new young energy. So
well, you know what happened last time K-pop came to the zoo?
What?
Members of Twice, when they were in the Bay Area for their concert, they who is it? I think it was like Suyu, Nayeon, and one other member I'm forgetting. They went to the San Francisco Zoo just for a fun day off, and they bought one of the SF Zoo T-shirts, and then that T-shirt went out of stock immediately.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
So I think that was the impetus for why the SMC was like, oh, we should probably do more of this like K-pop thing.
This K-pop thing. Yeah, we made a ton of cash. All right, I can see that. Well, I will see you there. Looking forward.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.